We will in just a minute.
It will be.
Oh, okay. No, I got the crew all asking me, so.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Live from the Chair, where inclusion matters. With your host tonight, Nathan Noss, who doesn't even know our guest is the owner of her own wrestling company. How dare you, Mr. Noss, insult an intelligent woman like that?
Well, since I'm part of Team, hold on. Since I'm part of Team Jeff, he's the one that told me to do it. And if he pays me the money he paid me, then I got to do what the money says, right? So
that was a bad choice.
It's debatable.
Yeah, not really though.
It's not debatable.
At the end of the day, I'm the boss, and I'm way meaner than Jeff is.
That's so.
It's like I've always learned to respect women. So yes, I'm Team Yvonne all the way.
That's nice. That's very good.
Yeah. Same here, and unlike our host, we knew you owned the company.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you knew that. That's fantastic.
So, Mr. Pat, why don't you start with the first question? We'll just skip Team Jeff altogether. We'll just pretend he's not even here.
How was it? How was the transition from referee to owner and promoter?
For one, I was never a referee. I did it for one show. I used to be co-owner of a company prior that, let's just say, when you mess with my money, in that company, that's what happened. I wasn't done with the business, and I didn't like all the drama in the business and all the, if you're not friends with this person, you're not getting booked, all that nonsense. Mm-hmm. So I decided that I wasn't done. So I created CPW, Combat Pro Wrestling, with some help with my designer, John Rodriguez, and my best friend, who she played with the wrestling for a bit, but now she's more of a fan. Because I wanted to fix some things that I didn't like in wrestling. And I love the hell out of wrestling. Wrestling saved me, and it made me find who I am again. And so I was going to do this, and we're almost at 6 years now. So obviously I'm doing something right.
So I'm very intrigued to learn what's the difference between the combat part of it and the wrestling part of it.
Okay, so my last company that I was co-owner with was Hybrid Grappling, and we did a lot of chain wrestling. I really enjoy that end of it as much as I enjoy the wrestling end of it. So when I let go of that company, I could not let go of my love for that part of it. So I decided, nobody else is doing it, so I will incorporate both into the same show and give the fans a little bit of something different.
That's awesome. Mr. Chairman, do you have a question? And be nice. Remember, don't cross the boss.
Can you tell us a little bit about your talent and who are your champions?
Okay, my heavyweight champion is JB Moonshine. He's been with me from day one. He's also Jeff's brother, but he's Team Yvonne. Then I've got Chris Marks, who is my international champion. He's Team Jeff, so we just move on from him. We've got, right now, my tag champs are actually Christopher Ryzik and Debashi. Debashi's been on the injured list, so I'm not sure where he's at right now on it. So I'll keep everybody updated on if Debashi is going to be able to defend his title. The newest cruiserweight with our brand new beautiful belt is Rashad. Real talk. He's a fabulous up and coming local. and he wrestles a little bit of everywhere. My grappling title right now is up for grabs. We're doing a tournament. The grappling title has been renamed, and it's the Sonny Omer Grappling Championship. He passed away last year, and he was one of our champs and a big part of our family, and we wanted his name to continue. So the division has been named after him. Our new title with his name on it is in the works and should hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll be here for Strawberry Fest when we actually crown a new grappling champion. Oh, and the reason that the grappling championship belt is up for grabs is, unfortunately, Jeff was the last champion and he got injured and had to retire. So therefore the grappling title is up for grabs, and he's up there crying because I didn't say that he was the last champ. Boo-hoo. Big fucking baby.
Well, from what I've heard, he put together a pretty good team, so he's still doing his thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't make
Yvonne's team is much, much better and way more professional. But we have our dark side because now I've been called the sexy heel promoter. Once I hit my son with a kendo stick, I guess they turned me heel.
Got ya.
Who are some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Well, my first husband, and he doesn't know it, was Sting. Yeah, I was married to him way back in the day. You know, his little blonde hair and all that face paint. I was all about me some Sting. One of my favorites was Nikita Koloff. I really liked Magnum TA. The Heart Foundation was a lot of fun. I met them quite a few different times. Adam Baum was one of the hot commodities back in the day. Actually, he's still doing pretty good, but he does movies and stuff now.
Can you tell us about some of your biggest rivalries right now in your company?
Well, Chris Marks has got a issue with my champ, and he stole his title at the last show. That's gonna be a little interesting because JB wants his belt back, and Chris doesn't feel he deserves it. So that's gonna be a little bit of a showdown. We got some new talent coming in too. I got a couple rookies that are coming in that should be very exciting to watch. Luis Alexander has been doing my grappling division and doing very well in it. He's now going to transition into the wrestling end of it. And we're bringing in a new face, Ashton Sauer. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm very much about the new generation and helping the younger generation get into the business and do stuff because, you know, unfortunately, all the vets won't be here forever. So we definitely got to continue with the new generation so we still have wrestling.
Well, even though I'm Team Jeff, I have to agree with that part of it.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about you being Team Jeff. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, it might be bullshit, but it's the truth.
Okay, one more bad outburst out of you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to ban you from the rest of the podcast. Do you understand me?
You can try.
He told you now, didn't he? Mm-hmm.
You ain't even in the same place as I am. I have to see how you go ban me from.
You are the weakest link. Ta-ta. Next question, Pat.
Can you talk a little more about Strawberry Fest?
Strawberry Fest, we did that a few years ago. We were the first wrestling to be asked to do their show. We do two shows, one at 1 and one at 4. it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of crazy things. You know, it's a festival, so there's a lot going on, and you have to stand out to make them people come and watch what you're doing. And the first year we were there, it was fantastic. So they requested us to come back again. We were supposed to be there last year. Unfortunately, due to the rain, we had to cancel at 6:30 that morning because there was just no way to put the ring where it was going to be. So we're definitely looking forward to this year's Strawberry Fest. We got some surprises, and I might be bringing in a few people in the next few shows that will be fun to watch. So stay tuned on that, because I'm not going to give any of that up yet, because those are, you know, surprises for later. But I do have a lot of things in the works for CPW and talent that will be, some will be returning and some will be new.
So you said who your tag team champions are. Who are some of your other like top tag teams?
Unfortunately, the tag team division's been kind of stagnant, so I'm gonna reach out and bring in tag teams from other places, since there's not as many in this area right now that for me. Besides, there's like Golden Boys and CJ Edwards and his partner down in DOA. I can't remember their tag names right now. Comma Code or something. They're fantastic. So, you know, I wanna build up the tag belts and make it a little stronger. So I'm gonna bring in some different talent from a little bit everywhere.
Very cool.
I do have a match that's coming up at Strawberry Fest, though. It is for the family title, and it is two of my wrestling sons against each other. My bad son and one of my good sons. That's going to be fun to watch.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I got a couple. I got some children that are all wrestlers, and 2 are good, and one's just a little asshole, and he needs some tough love. But that one's most like me because he's got the attitude more like me, so it's kind of my own fault. So.
Well, yeah, I know how you feel. You know, our host goes rogue all the time on us. You know, so I totally understand how you feel about that.
I have to go rogue. When you look like me, you can do whatever you want. Right?
Are you cutting the lady off, man?
I would never do that. I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, my son has a tendency of going rogue, but he's also co-owner of his own wrestling company, which is Timber Pro. And I'm very proud of him, but he's a little asshole. So mom's got to teach him a little tough love and, you know, use what I got and maybe send a big brother or 2 to, you know, lessen him.
Which might explain why I can't get a hold of Timber Pro. So maybe I need to send the asshole host over there to get a hold of him to see if he'll come on the podcast.
Yeah, it's possible. He's just a little brat. So, you know.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I'm sure we might be able to work something out.
Okay. Cody, don't be a brat. People want to, you know, talk to you about your company. So there's mom being nice and giving you a little shout out, you little asshole. But I love you. Sorry, I don't sugarcoat nothing, you know. I kind of have a big fucking mouth, and I talk like a damn truck driver. And I don't apologize for that. That is who I am. So,
absolutely, no need to apologize.
Nope.
Real talk for a minute. I love that because that's exactly how I am too. So,
yeah, I can't be fake. It hurts too much to try.
What is the best gimmick match you have done?
Best gimmick match, huh? Damn, now you're trying to make my brain work. You suck.
Hey, I'm just going by what the host gave me. You can blame the
host.
Point that off me.
Let me just tell you, for me, one of the best matches that actually 2 of the best matches that I've enjoyed. I don't fangirl very much. yes, I've been a wrestling fan since as long as I can talk, but I don't fangirl very often over like independent wrestlers, but I do fangirl over too. So one of my all-time favorites that was in my company, and he also held my title, was B-Boy versus Cole Crazy. Both of those wrestlers were fantastic. I mean, B-Boy is one of the best in the business inside and out. He is so professional, so nice, never acts like he's above anybody, and always willing to help. I love his style. A lot of people look at me funny because I like the little bit of the rougher style. I don't like as much as what everybody else likes, the pretty gimmick stuff, and let's do more storyline and he. I like the rough shit. So that's one of my all-time favorites. My other all-time favorite, because he is actually my favorite, was when we brought Funny Bone in and he fought my ride or die, CJ Edwards. That was fantastic. I like Funny Bone's fuck you attitude, in your face. I think his motto is everything dies or everybody dies. That just is something for me. I just like that. So those are my all-time favorites. Now, a lot of people seem to like when Robbie E came because, you know, he's very over the top and likes to talk about himself. So his match with CJ Edwards was also good. But my top two favorites was B-Boy and Cole Crazy and Funny Bone and CJ Edwards. That's my top.
So, as a promoter, for the fans out there who don't know, how do you choose who your champions are going to be?
How do I choose? Well, some of it is by who puts in the most work. Because I'm not going to put my titles on somebody that just wants to show up and get in the ring and just work and do nothing else to help the business, because it's not about just them. It's about everybody as a whole. So for me, it's who wants to put in the work and who does what they're told.
What advice would you give a person wanting to become a professional wrestler?
What advice?
Yes.
Okay, hands down, find you a good trainer. And I'm not talking you go in, because I see a lot of these and it's kind of sad, but it goes for almost any business. You see these kids or young people that go in and they train for a month and they learn, you know, how to take a bump or what have you. And then all of a sudden they think they're pros and they can go do a show. No, you need to be trained not just how to work in the ring, how to sell a character, how to work the crowd, how to know ring awareness. There's so much to it. So you have to actually want it to put in the work to become a wrestler. So you find a good trainer. You need a trainer. That is the first and foremost, is find a good trainer. You have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, go home. Don't waste anybody's time. Because yes, everybody says, you know, wrestling's easy. To hell if it is. These fuckers work their asses off, and to make sure that they don't hurt themselves or each other, that's some work. Okay, that's some straight up work. So find a trainer. Take it serious. If you want it, you got to take it serious.
Okay, there's a message. It says, "Hi, boss lady. It's Michael."
Hi, Michael. See you tomorrow.
Well, if you can't see,
if I'm right, that's one of my refs. If I'm right,
yeah,
you're correct.
Yes,
it is Mike Munger. You're correct.
Although, if you can see him, that man's so skinny. Like, even in a gust of wind would knock him over. So I mean,
you be nice. You be nice. How you gonna sit and talk shit about people now? Okay, that's not nice.
No bad mouthing the referees.
Hey,
that's not nice.
I went to high school with Michael. He knows how
that's okay. That's okay. That still don't give you a right to be talking shit.
Nope. I agree
Don't
with
talk
you,
shit on my refs. Don't talk shit on my refs. They ain't on here to defend themselves.
Hey, can I propose a match? If I can get Nathan to Strawberry Fest, can I propose a match? Give Mikey Nathan.
I'll take on Mikey. I can beat Mikey easy. What you think that's a challenge?
No,
Well,
I'd probably have to do Dark Carta instead.
All right, I'll do it.
Well, you got to put your money where your mouth is. You can't just, talk shit and think that that's just how we work. Because no, see, we live. People see it. People heard you. So if you're going to talk a big game, you got to bring it.
I'll bring it. I'll get up there. I don't care what I got to do to get up there. I'll get up there.
I know Darth Carter ready because that little man always ready, little crazy little shit.
Nah, I'll just run around him a few times in my wheelchair. We'll call it good.
Okay.
But you see, you never know at Strawberry Fest, though, or even at, next month's show on the 27th, people might start running their mouth and the boss might have to hit somebody else with a kendo stick.
Ooh.
Well, hold on. You can try to hit somebody with
I will be bringing that said kendo stick to Strawberry Fest because you ran your mouth on me the other day. So be prepared for that because that shit's in the back right now.
I am prepared for that, but I got a question for you. Are you gonna have a manicurist with you? Because if you break a nail swinging that kendo stick, you're going to need something.
Okay, obviously you don't know who the fuck I am. Okay, see the face. Yeah, I can look cute and I can play the part real fucking well, but I fight. Could care less about fucking nails. Could care less about fucking makeup. I can fight, so I don't give two fucks if I break a nail, hair out of place, makeup smudged, a titty pop out. I don't give a fuck. I will beat somebody with a stick. It don't matter.
Woohoo! You go, girl.
Obviously, you did not do your homework about me even a tiny bit. Because if you did, you would have never asked me about nails and shit. Because I am not that kind of bitch. Okay.
I didn't do a homework in high school, so what makes you think I'd be doing homework now? First of all.
Well, that's dangerous for you because that kind of shit gets you fucked up.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, I do not condone anything that our host is saying. Again, he totally went AWOL, off the wall. I do not condone this. Shame on you for being Team Jeff,
And see, I'm a big girl. I stand up for my goddamn self. I don't need nobody to do it for me. That's one of the reasons why I created this damn company is because I'm a woman, but I got bigger balls than most men. So it is what it is.
And I've heard that about her from two of her referees that live in the local area, in fact. She's not afraid
You can ask almost anybody whether they like me or don't, which, a lot of them in this business really don't like me, which I don't give a fuck. I'm still here. But you can ask almost anybody, even if they only met me about 5 fucking minutes. They know exactly how I am. Any of them would tell you.
But Tony, you want me to believe her referees? Together they look like the number 10. If you're talking about T-Rex, you got a skinny guy in Mikey, and you got a plump little Oompa Loompa in T-Rex.
Are you dissing her referees again, man?
Nathan?
Okay, for one, those are not my only refs. Those are not my only refs. Okay, I got Sign Guy as a ref, and I got Travis who does my grappling. So you keep picking at my refs and talking shit about them, you're not going to know which ref that might show up to assist Mr. Dark Carta at Strawberry Fest. So be careful, because they would love to get in there and slap the shit out of somebody too.
So I got 3 words to that. Bring it on.
So are we going to ask more questions, or are you going to trash talk the lovely lady all night?
Hey, I was just responding back.
No more disrespecting the lovely lady.
So, have you ever thought about starting a women's division in combat pro wrestling?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, in this area, there is not very many females. I have Sunny Days who works for me, who will be working actually at Strawberry Fest. to hopefully kick Eddie Van Glam's ass, since he tried to do her dirty and embarrass her a few shows back. So she gonna get her revenge. Me being a female, I love women wrestling. Those bitches put in some work and can fight just as hard as all the men do. I'm just sad that in the Pacific Northwest, there's really not that many. There's a few like Kikyo, the Fallen Flower. You know, she's pretty good, a little crazy, but you know, she does good work. There's a couple down in Portland. I don't actually remember their names too well because I know one of them changed her gimmick when she came back, so I don't remember what her new gimmick is. There's some out of state though, females like Brittany Wonder and Lilith Grimm and some of them girls. Oh, them girls are the shit. So I want to bring more women in, but I'm waiting until we get back to doing ring shows because right now we're doing the theatrical non-ring shows, which are a lot of fun, and it's helping some of the wrestlers learn how to, you know, sell their gimmicks and sell them. Work on that end a little bit more than the wrestling end, because you know wrestling's they learn that quickly, but trying to sell yourself and work the crowds, some of them need a little work. So these kind of shows kind of help that stuff.
What is your favorite snack or cookie?
Well, I don't eat that much. I don't have an appetite. So my favorite thing is my coffee, my iced coffee. See, you'll always see me with this. And that's the best way to get love from the boss. Bring her an iced mocha and you be top on the list.
Okay, Tony, if we go to Strawberry Fest, we know what we need to do then.
Absolutely. But I've got a question. Well, I've actually got a comment for you, Mr. Host, from one of her said referees. T-Rex said, Nathan, you talk shit again, you get hit. He knows where you live.
Please, those tiny little hands with the little contractors that you have, you slap me with those things, it'd be like your grandma slapping me in the face.
So not right.
I'm sorry.
So not right.
I'm sorry. He doesn't learn.
I learned. I just know what I'm talking about. So, you know what? You're not going to like it?
All I'm going to say is tune up the Undertaker theme song. Dig that hole.
Oh, we got a body bag ready and everything. So, Mr. Davidson, make sure you got your body bag ready because we might need it sooner than later, honey.
So
you can't put me in a body bag. You can't cover all this.
T, if you're listening,
oh, I bet you we can.
Hook me up tomorrow. I'll take you into the Frontier personally, where he lives. So,
again, you're acting like I'm scared of T. I'm not.
He'll just bring backup. That's all. He'll just be the director and tell him what to do.
Again, I'm not scared. You can do. You can bring it.
Actually, I'm sorry. You'd have to wait till Sunday because you're going to be.
Yeah, we're busy tomorrow. Yeah, we're busy tomorrow.
You'll have to wait till Sunday. So if you hook up with me on Sunday, I'll be more than happy to show you where he lives.
Okay, I know you.
I believe you've got the next question, Pat.
Nope, he just asked one. So I heard you had a ladder match recently with Rashad and.
We're not gonna we're gonna bypass that whole entire match if you don't mind.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Rashad's doing a bar fight tomorrow. I only don't want to talk about that match because unfortunately that will bring up shit that is not necessary to even be talked about again. It's an issue that was dealt with and it's done. And I want it to stay dead. So we just bypass that like that one didn't happen.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Thank you. But any other match, we good to go. We can talk about whatever the fuck you want. I just don't want to talk about that one.
So we talked about T-Rex. Has he ever gotten into a match, or is he a little too scared to get in your matches? That's why he had to be a referee, right?
Yvonne does not like her referees getting hurt too much. Unfortunately, it does happen every once in a while. It was just brought to my attention. I guess didn't see the particular incident because, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off at all these shows. But one of my refs actually got hurt by funny bone, and I didn't know about it until pretty much the other day when I happened to listen to the old podcast that was done. So I'm still trying to find that footage of that because I totally missed that. But to my knowledge, that was the only time one of my refs have got hurt.
And we have a question from one of our viewers, Chris Marks.
It's one of her wrestlers, dude. Yeah, go ahead and ask her that question. I dare you.
That fucker. What he got to ask? Okay, what he got to ask?
I dare you.
What did the bastard say?
He wants to know why your heavyweight champion won't be at the Mixed Wood tomorrow night.
Unfortunately, JB Moonshine had a prior engagement. Yeah, a prior engagement, so he is not able to be there. But his cousin is, so I'm sure some nonsense will be happening. All I know, somebody better bring me a drink because I think I'm gonna have to have one for tomorrow.
Whew. Go ahead, Mr. Noss. Go ahead. Ask that one too.
I ain't scared.
Go ahead.
He said,
and I'll answer any question.
Go ahead.
Pronounce concussion protocol.
He just had a prior engagement. I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't ask. He gave me plenty of notice. He couldn't be there, and that's all I ask of my workers.
I'm going to say this one from Michael. He says, happy birthday, boss lady.
Thank you.
Oh, well, happy birthday from me, too.
And me.
Thank you. It's also tomorrow's my partner, Scott's his birthday, too. So we're doing a double birthday celebration.
Nathan, you don't get to wish her happy birthday. You're nothing.
No, I'll just wait for the one that's gonna win this little war that her and Jeff are gonna have with these teams that they have, and I'll wish him a happy birthday instead.
Well, you missed his birthday. That was just a month or so ago. And who's gonna win this fucking war? Well, that's dumb, because everybody already knows that I never lose. I protect what's mine. You try and come for what's mine. That's dumb. But obviously you don't know that stuff because you didn't do no homework about me. Not even 5 fucking minutes. So I don't expect you to know that much because, you weren't all that smart.
Yeah.
When you should have done your homework.
Yeah.
So I would tell you for future guests, I'd probably do at least 5 minutes worth of homework. At least 5 minutes. So your other co-hosts don't look so much better than you because at least they know what the fuck they're talking about because they did some research. So I would do your research.
You think?
Because if you're gonna speak on shit, you better have the receipts and better know it, and don't just some hearsay bullshit. So do your research, not just on me, but on anybody you bring on the show.
Ooh.
Fair enough, but you think my co-hosts are better than me? You got a guy that looks like a 70s porn star wearing glasses, and a guy that's been kissing your...
I don't give a shit what they look like. They did their fucking homework. They actually went out and, actually act like they gave a shit about what they were doing. So they did their homework. So I don't care what they look like. Everybody looks different.
For the one
Everybody looks different. Oh, you sure that check didn't bounce, honey? Are you sure? You might want to check. No, you might want to check because there might be some. I'm pretty sure that bounced. I'm pretty sure.
Yvonne.
See, I've already spent some of that money, so I know the money didn't bounce.
Oh, you spent that.
He was paid in Monopoly money.
I could see that. Because Jeff's a cheap bastard. He ain't giving up his fucking money. He gonna pretend he will. He'll pretend he will, but he ain't gonna give up no money.
Well, yeah, but from what I understand from Nathan was he already took Jeff's money, ran with it, and bought something that's CPW property.
What the fuck did you buy? That got my logo on it without my permission?
It possibly might have your logo on it. Maybe it won't.
Huh. Ain't nothing go through the front doors of CPW that don't get approved by me. So if you wasted money on something without asking, well, you was a fool. Shit, in the time of today, you wasted some money. That could have been some gas money, some fucking cigarette money, some weed money, whatever, some food money. But honey, did you waste your money on something about my fucking company without asking me?
No, I spent the money that somebody paid me.
This fool don't know shit about me. I swear to God.
I did you a favor.
Even my partners can't put shit in the company without me. Without me saying okay. A favor?
No.
Let me explain something. I don't need a favor from you or any other fucking man. Okay? Point blank period. I don't need that. I built my shit from the fucking ground up. My blood, sweat, and tears built this shit. Okay? Nobody else. I don't need a man for that. After I built that shit, then I brought in my partners to make that shit that much better. But at the end of the day, this is my fucking baby. And ain't no man gonna take that shit from me. Because I gave up a lot to have this fucking company. I lost a lot of people to have this fucking company. So ain't nobody gonna take my fucking credit away for all the work I've done in it. Next question.
If you could have a dream match, who would it be and where would it be held at?
I don't care about location. Location don't mean shit to me. Dream match, huh? So what are you talking dream match? Are we talking TV big time folks or are we talking independent?
Either.
Whatever you consider a dream match for you.
Okay, so I don't care so much about the big time shit. I don't care so much about the TV shit no more because some of it's just got too much carried away and too much bullshit for me. One of my dream matches I would have done, and I actually tried to do it, was in the works of doing it. Unfortunately, I can't now because he's passed away. Was going to be New Jack versus Seds. Unfortunately, New Jack passed away, so that match couldn't happen. But that was supposed to happen because me and Jerome were very good friends and very close for a very long time. And I wanted to give that to my partner because Seds is the hardcore of our area. But unfortunately, something upstairs said, nope, we couldn't have that. So I'm sad about that one. But, a dream match. I don't know if I would say a dream match. I would like to see the match that just happened up in Spokane, though, myself. I would like to see Funny Bone versus B-Boy. I didn't get to see that, so that's a match I'd actually want to see live.
Okay, before we ask the next question, I do want to go with you on the fact that you said that, about what you said about New Jack. I actually got a chance to interview him many years ago. So it was a very interesting interview.
Okay, so it's really no secret. I dated him for a bit back in, 2014. I didn't date New Jack, though. I was afraid of New Jack because he's crazy. I dated Jerome. Jerome was different. Granted, Jerome there was still New Jack in Jerome, but he was different. But he was very cool, but he didn't like people. The man hated people. Absolutely hated people. So I didn't understand. You love the wrestling, you love the crazy shit, but you fucking hate people. How the fuck is that possible? And then I realized, actually, a lot of wrestlers don't like people. They only like them when they're in character, when they're doing the shows. They enjoy it then, but as soon as the shows are over, them boys, some of them just like sink in, close up, hoodie up, ready to go. Like, no, I don't want attention. It's kind of weird to me to see that transition. That they love their attention whores on one aspect, and then, oh hell no, get away from me on the next.
Yeah, the
Kind of like our
interesting thing
host.
about the interesting thing about that New Jack interview, that was the only interview I did with Gary Wolf that we had to put a you know, one of those.
Oh, you should have known. You should have known that from the jump, because that man had a mouth on him. Oh, sweet Jesus, he didn't give a shit. He didn't care whose feelings he hurt. He didn't give a fuck. Didn't give a fuck.
No, it's a good thing we didn't have a censor.
Imagine taking him in public, and I'm just this little itty bitty thing, and taking this big man in public. The looks that people gave me, I just used to start laughing. Like, yeah, yeah, it is what it is.
New Jack was something else. I liked a lot of his matches.
He was crazy. Okay, don't get me wrong. He was fucking crazy. He did some shit that was just not okay. You know, but back in them days, the fucking promoters, when the promoters were fucking feeding them coke and shit 24/7, half them boys didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. So, you know, I will never disagree that some of his actions were fucked up. Hands down, I know that. But at the end of the day, he was my friend, and he was my friend till the day he died. So I will always defend that. I will not defend what some of his actions were, but I will always defend the man.
No. I wanted to try one hitting thing.
Now, the independent wrestler that got me to like independent wrestling, though, because I never liked it. I always liked the big time stuff. I went to all the shows. You know, I met a bunch of the wrestlers. I never liked the independent circuit, because the one time I did go, it was like a total, I guess, you know, best term was freak show. And I wasn't impressed. So my best friend went to a show one night, and she called me, and she's like, so you gonna drive out here and watch wrestling with me? And I was like, no, I'm kind of lazy today. I said, you just let me know, you know, how it goes. And if there was any nice looking wrestlers, because, you know, back in them days, they at least had to look good to me, at least a little bit. Okay. I'll be honest. And she comes home, and she's like, girl, there's one wrestler that screams you 100%. So she told me about him, and I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll go. We go to a TNA show, and I think it was one of the first ones that TNA came to Washington. And I noticed a person that was working the ring as like security, and he was a big motherfucker. And I was like, damn, is he a wrestler? If not, he should be. And my girlfriend sees who I'm looking at, and she's like, oh my God, that's the wrestler I told you about. And I'm like, what wrestler? And she's like, the one at the Marysville wrestling show I went to. And I was like, who's that? She's like, that's Exile. And I was like, God damn, when's the next show? Okay, when's the next show? So we go into the ring to take pictures with the Hardy Boys. And mind you, that was mine and my best friend's, like, what is that? Our little dream boys. I had a thing for Jeff. She had a thing for Matt. So we get in there to take pictures, and dumb bitch goes and stands with Jeff instead and leaves me with Matt. Well, I'm not impressed with Matt. I mean, he's nice and he, you know, wrestles real well, but I'm not impressed. And I realized that it was Exile taking the picture. And I'm more concentrating on Exile as poor Matt. And I feel so bad still to this day, because I was a fan, not a groupie. And Matt's in my ear telling me what hotel he's in and what room he's in. And I could give two shits about him because I was more busy looking at Exile. And I just kind of shooed him like, yeah, no, be quiet. No, I'm not going to your hotel room, but thanks. There's cigarettes inside. Just give him a peck. So Exile was actually the whole reason I went to an independent show. And after that, I was hooked. I was fucking hooked. So if it wasn't for Exile, Yvonne would have never gone to independent wrestling. And CPW probably wouldn't be here. So he will always get much love for that because, you know, it's his fault that I got into this crazy, fucked up love of wrestling. So there's a little history of why I actually got into independent wrestling is because of him.
Very cool. So you talked about getting back into like doing ring shows.
Yep.
Was that something you did before? Or?
We've always done ring shows, but unfortunately, when the pandemic happened, we lost our building when it was over, and we've tried to get different buildings. Unfortunately, because so many people lost so much money during the pandemic, what they're asking for rent for a building for, you know, even a couple hours just isn't feasible right now. I don't do wrestling to make money, but I sure in the fuck don't do it to, you know, just empty out my fucking bank account and be like, here you go. I at least like to try and, you know, break even. Because I never got into wrestling for fucking money, because that's just stupid. You do this business because you love it and hope to God you get, you know, a little bonus here and there. But we are still trying to find a new building. But since it's summertime's coming and we're going to do a lot of fair shows and outdoor shows for right now, I'm not worried about a building. All those shows will be back we will be back in a ring. So I'm looking probably more towards fall, where we'll get serious about actually finding CPW a permanent home. But for the summer, we'll just rock the fair shows and stuff like that and have a good time.
Can you name your top 5 tag teams of all time?
Top 5 tag teams of all time? Okay. Steiner Brothers. I liked Brian Adams and what were they called? Chronic. I think that's what they were called back in the day. Him and Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's hard to say certain tag teams were better. Back in my day of wrestling, I loved all of it. I mean, it was so much fun, and the war between, you know, WCW and WWF at the time was fantastic. One of my all-time favorite wrestlers back in the day, but before he became Brian Pillman, is when he was Flying Brian Pillman. Jeff, just go in the house and shut the fuck up. Okay, Jeff might not make it to the show tomorrow, so, you know, if you hear word that he went missing, shh, you didn't know nothing.
I didn't see nothing.
We know nothing.
Okay.
Can we bury the Team Jeff wannabe on our podcast though too? I mean, if he's gonna end up missing, can we at least have the other one missing too?
They'll all be missing that are connected to him. The only one I might keep, because he's been my ride or die for, you know, 14 years now, is CJ. But Jeff has kind of corrupted him, and, you know, so, but I might try and see if I can unbrainwash that one. Because if I can unbrainwash that one and bring him back to my side, then he'd be the only one I'm keeping.
And
Jeff could just go to, I might have to hit him with a kendo stick today, because he working my fucking nerves.
And your referee Mike said, "Hey, there's a fair in Longview at the end of July."
End of July.
End of July.
I have to look it up. Scott does most of our the venue stuff. Yvonne does most of the. I do all the booking and all that end. Scott does the venue end and the business end, because he's a little more business. I run my mouth a little bit, so some people kind of, you know, I guess are a little intimidated by me. So, and I don't know how to tone that shit down. I was raised by nothing but men, so I don't know how to tone that down. You know, so Scott's the calmer of that. And he's way better with that shit. So Scott does all that.
So there you go, Mike. Go talk to Scott tomorrow and get it booked down here. There you go.
And I can promise you this. If you guys come down here, I live just blocks away from the fairgrounds, so you'll definitely see me at that one.
Did she ask you to speak?
Do I need permission?
I don't recall anybody giving you a question, but okay.
Of course you need permission because the boss lady tells you when to speak.
And Jeff is out here running his mouth. I don't need, no, never mind. I'm not even going to say that. Never mind. Never mind.
You know, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if Team Yvonne wanted to throw us money for this podcast, I'd take the offer and let her buy the podcast from us.
Gotta show me the money first.
I ain't got to show you shit. I got to show them money. So me and them, we have us a conversation. And I can bet you that somebody else will own the podcast here in a minute. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready for anything.
No, you're not. You just say you are. You talk a good game. We'll see. We'll see how you really hold up.
I'm quite scared now. Honestly,
I'm not.
Honestly, if you were to come to Longview for the for our show, then I would throw our illustrious host in the ring against one of your boys.
Yeah,
Maybe
please, you can try.
I could pick one, right?
You can pick anyone you want.
Anyone you want.
Anyone?
Anyone.
Huh.
And I've even got a few wrestler friends that I know in Colorado and California that we've interviewed that would love to have a piece of him.
If they can handle me.
I've got a lot of out of state guys that are just hungry to come play at Combat Pro Wrestling, and yeah, maybe somebody like Timothy Bumper or Bunny Bone or
Bunny Bone would be fun.
Big Ugly.
I would have to have a ringside seat for this to happen too.
I could have a lot of fun. We definitely, you know, I could definitely bring somebody in that could, you know, teach you a little respect.
But yeah, the executive producer and I can do the commentating for that match.
Pat, you can't do the commentary. You got to be able to speak in more than 2 syllables.
I speak more than you do. At least I'm not a floorhead.
He speaks just fine. He speaks just fine. Quit hating. You just all full of hate today, aren't you?
Yes, he is.
I am who I am.
Yeah,
so,
I am who I am.
So why don't we just do a little quick plug here, Pat, for us tomorrow? You know, we are more than honored to be the first podcast to do a very first media scrum for CPW Wrestling. We'll be doing that tomorrow night after the show. And I may or may not bring the Team Jeff wannabe person with us. I don't know yet.
If you want the ratings up on this podcast for that meeting.
If you have to, it's okay. It's okay. Because Team Yvonne will put him in his place. It's okay.
Okay.
It's fine.
Again, all I hear is this. A lot of talk. Yeah, show me some action, lady.
Listen. I have no issues putting my fucking mouth where my money is. No problem.
Oh, I like this comment.
All good. I ain't afraid of shit. Male, female, makes no difference.
I love this comment. This comment is to Nathan. You might be missing your calling as a comedian.
Please don't encourage him.
See, somebody respects what I am. That's right. Thank you.
Him. Please don't encourage him.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I mean, at least he, you know, try to reel him back in before we let him go even more rogue. You know, I mean, next, who knows? He might take Jeff's money and go buy a championship belt for CPW and call it his.
Well, if he wants
that's not a bad idea.
If he wants to waste his money on a prop that he can pet at night, then that's on him. But ain't none coming through my company without my seal of approval. Don't give a fuck. Don't care what Jeff said. Don't care what anybody said. So you can take your little belt and you can sleep with it and you can stroke it all night. But that's as far as that goes with my company.
But see,
So
you're missing out on You're missing out on the opportunity. See, the title that I would bring would elevate your company to so many higher levels than it already is.
See, if you
so that's
actually
how I'm
wanted
trying to help
do that,
you out.
if you actually wanted to do something like that, the proper way to do something like that is to go speak to the boss and put an idea on the table. Don't assume that the boss needs a fucking charity case from anyone. I got my own belts. They're all beautiful. They're all fucking different. So if you really wanted to do something nice and be helpful for the company, maybe you should have brought the idea to me and asked me about it instead of trying to cram it down my fucking throat.
I already talked to Jeff. I figured that's all I needed to do.
Then obviously, like I said already, you ain't done your fucking homework. Ain't done your homework at all.
Nope.
So that's bad. That's your bad, and that's your bad for wasting that money that you got from that asshole upstairs that thought he was going to try and embarrass me on a podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So next question, Nathan or Pat, do you have a question?
I don't have any questions at the moment.
Nathan?
So
no. Okay.
If you could, Pat asked you what your dream match was, but if you could book a dream match.
Book a dream match like big time people?
Yeah.
I'm going to still go old school because he still looks fucking fantastic for his age. So I'm going to still say I want Sting. And I want Sting. And let's see. Let me do somebody that came from the independent circuit that's doing really well. And I think he's a little freak. And Darby Allin.
Oh, yes, please.
Ooh. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
Darby Allin. Darby Allin's a little freak. He's a little freak. And I like that energy. So same reason I like Funny Bones.
Yes, please. Darby's.
But yeah, that would be fucking. That would be a fun match.
Oh yes.
Like I said, Sting was my very first husband, and yeah, that would be just fantastic.
You know. Yes. And the co-host and I love Darby Allin, unlike our host who didn't even know Darby was from Washington.
Yeah, Darby used to have wrestled at a few of the independent companies that were around here. Unfortunately, one of them companies is gone now, and but he was a lot of fun to watch. He was definitely a lot of fun to watch. I mean, he can work, he can sell his character, and he's just a little freak. Oh God, no, he's coming out here. I gotta roll up my windows. Shit. I'll roll my windows. Let me lock the door. Okay, doors are locked. Okay, no, Jeff can't come in here. Go away.
No Team Jeff tonight. Sorry. We already got one loser, Team Jeff, in the podcast. We don't need any more.
So, who's your... All right.
Oh, my God. I get yelled at for the dumbest shit. Whatever. Go away.
Who is your favorite wrestler turned actor?
Favorite wrestler turned actor?
Yes.
I probably have to say Rock. Because I don't like John Cena. Sorry, guys. I liked him when he first came out, but then I lost interest. But I like The Rock.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think The Miz did pretty well too, though, because he came from the real world, and that poor guy went through some shit to get accepted into wrestling. So yes, I have to give Miz. I have to give Miz some credit because even back in the real world, he so wanted to be a wrestler so goddamn bad, and he made it a reality. So, he's got to get his credit.
Well, we could ask her that question, but I don't think a true boss lady would actually show her favoritism towards any one person on her team. But I'll ask her anyway.
On my team, or period.
Who's your favorite Team Yvonne person?
Favorite Team Yvonne person. I'm gonna have to say I have two: John Rodriguez and JB Moonshine.
And
But now my favorite, and on Jeff's team, my favorite is CJ Edwards.
And that's exactly what JB said. He seems how he's joining us tonight. He said it would be him. So,
yes.
So you were absolutely correct.
And the one I dislike the most right now from Team Jeff would have to be Chris Marks. Because he stole property that ain't his. So that's not a good look. But he can work good, but it's not a good look.
But isn't there a law that says possession's 9/10 of the law? So technically, did he really steal it?
No, he stole it. It was not his to take, and he took it. So to me, that's stealing. Right? Ain't that stealing? When you take something that don't belong to you?
I totally agree. I totally agree with you.
That's okay.
But tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun, though. So I hope everybody comes out and enjoys the show. Celebrate mine and Scott's birthday. Give Jeff the finger. Whatever.
Okay.
Come watch Princess Death Wish.
For the fans out there, don't give Jeff the finger. Come on, the man pays well. He knows what he's doing.
Monopoly money.
So the next few months will be very interesting because, you're interviewing a lot of these people that we've been talking about tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, we are, actually.
And you're sitting here talking crap about his boss lady. I don't know how our interview with JB is going to go now because you're ruining it for me and for Pat because you're talking crap about his favorite boss lady.
But you guys don't worry. My boys all know that they don't have to defend me unless you totally go over the line. Now, if you totally go over the line, they're going to defend me. But they don't have to defend me because I can defend myself. And they know that. So you should be safe as long as you don't go over that line. You go over that line, then, But I guess it also depends on who you bring on because some are a little more protective of me than others. And they got a little shorter fuse and it'll take a little less bullshit before they fuck you up.
Yeah, so just remember that when we do our interviews in these next several months, and some of them we're doing right up just before Strawberry Fest too, so it should be interesting.
Yes. And I do know we're having JB Moonshine on, so that should be interesting as long as he doesn't take too many swigs off of that moonshine jug that he carries around.
Well,
there's no guarantee there.
And you're having Mr. Works on your show too. Remember that. Although that should be a good interview for you, seems how he's doing.
Well, screw you too, there, motorcycle.
And
apparently,
now
the motorcycle wanted to be part of the podcast too.
Of course, I'm on it.
He wants the attention, unlike his undue attention that he doesn't deserve because she's the true owner of this company.
I have no problem sharing, that I have two partners, Scott and Jeff, hands down. They have definitely helped make this company grow and make it better. But I just will never, ever let anybody take the credit away from me of how much I worked to create the company.
And we
Because
have
I'm a female, and I'm a female, and this is a goddamn man's world, and some of them do not like that I'm doing it. But I was raised by nothing but men, so I can look the part of a female, but I act more like a dude most of the time, and I am who I am. So,
and bravo to you for being the first woman owner, I believe, nationwide of a wrestling company.
I don't believe it's nationwide. I do believe that there are at least, and I can't remember right off the bat, off the top of my head, because I've had a really rough week on sleep. So I'm actually amazed I've held it through this long. I do believe there are actually at least 2 other women owner promoters in other states. I just can't remember exactly. So I'm not going to take the credit that I am the only one. I am the only one in Washington. I can say that hands down. Washington and Oregon, them areas, yes. I'm the only female that is an owner promoter. There are a lot of female promoters.
Yes.
I just have both titles. And I'm a booker too, because for me, I feel that it's mine. I want it the way I want it. So I'm not giving that job to somebody else. That's mine. I like to have my hands in almost everything in the company, minus the venues and stuff. I do go look at them with Scott and stuff, but I don't like to deal with the finagling people like that on prices. My hustle's different. So, but I'm hands-on on everything in the company. I like booking. I like doing all that. It's a lot of fun, and it keeps me out of trouble, actually. So, because I like to fight, and I shouldn't, because I'm a little older now, and it's probably not okay, and not necessarily a good look for my kids. So wrestling keeps me from not catching a case here and there.
Exactly. So before we let you go, you want to run down your card for tomorrow night?
Sure. So my very first match will be Jameson Moonshine versus SP8, and that'll be an interesting match. Make sure everything goes properly there. My second match is the grappling match, and that's John Rodriguez against, it was supposed to be my son Cody, but unfortunately he's a little jackass, so he's been replaced with the good son Andrew. So then we have a 3-way with the Party Goblin, Viento, and Tomcat, which should be a little interesting. That'll be probably a little bit all over the place. Then we couldn't have a show without the Ryzik Fitness Challenge, the best ass in the business. So he's got to do his fitness challenge. So we got that happening. That's one of the staples to our new show, is the Ryzik Fitness Challenge. Then we have our Luis Alexander versus Ashton Sowers. They're both Ashton's brand new. This will be his debut show. Luis been doing grappling and has been kicking ass in the grappling division. So he is now transitioning into wrestling to show that he can do both. And he is a fantastic up and comer. So everybody should look out for him. So he's fantastic. And then we have the bar fight with Rashad and Princess Deathwish. And Princess Deathwish used to be one of CPW's first heavyweight champions. And so this is going to be, he hasn't been back for about, I think, 3 or 4 years now. So this is a return of my little sweetheart. That's going to be off the hook, because Rashad has been doing some interesting matches as of lately, with like the means of Drexel and stuff like that. So this match is going to be fun, crazy, and I probably need extra security. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a little extra security. So if anybody wants to come play extra security, let me know.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's pretty much the card. And then, we're going to talk about some other matches that'll be coming up between next month and Strawberry Fest. So stay tuned for all the crazy fun stuff that's coming, and look out for the people that we're bringing in to join and have a good time with CPW.
Absolutely.
And Team Yvonne will kick Team Jeff's ass, just so you know.
Debatable.
I have 100% guarantee that that's going to happen. Yes, I agree with her.
I will ship in some talent from out of states that are Team Yvonne as well. So, yeah, Team Yvonne will kick his ass.
I'm sure he's got plans just like you do.
Oh, I'm not saying he don't, because let's not get it twisted. Okay, Jeff deserves just as much credit. Jeff used to be a wrestler. Jeff was in it for forever. Loved the business. Unfortunately, Jeff can't do it anymore because he's taken too many concussions, and he got his foot shattered at work. So never underestimate Jeff even a tiny bit. He has just as much love for wrestling. Maybe he might be a little bit bitter to it because he can't do it like he used to. Because once a wrestler, always a wrestler. So it's kind of hard to when they are forced to not be able to do what they love, they get a little bitter, and it's totally understandable. So I'll never take that away from him. He does know what he's talking about in wrestling. No matter that it's Team Yvonne, Team Jeff, he knows his shit. I just don't like his shit, and we think differently on it, but he definitely knows wrestling, and fuck you. There you go, dick.
And Mike said that if you need him to do both tomorrow, let him know. He'd be happy to do both for you. The ref and the security.
Okay. If you do that, yeah, okay, we'll talk when you get to the show tomorrow.
There you go, Mikey.
Remember, welcome. It's an early start show, so doors are at 3, shows at 3:30.
Sounds good. Nathan, you've been awfully quiet. You have anything to say?
Just one more thing. When you come to hit me with the supposed kendo stick that you're going to hit me with, please make sure it's not a pink little one with the little frills on the end that I heard you have.
Did you say...
Uh-oh.
What kind of kendo stick did you say?
The pink one with the little frills on the end, like you had when you were a little girl with all the bike and everything.
There you go, Nathan.
That don't look pink, Nathan.
Shut your mouth. Mine's in the car, ready for the show tomorrow. So don't play with me. I'm the wrong one.
So, there you go, Nathan. So, anything else, Mr. Host?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Anything else, Mr. Co-host?
I'm good.
Well, on behalf of our podcast, thank you very much for joining us. Go get some rest and have a killer show tomorrow, and we'll see you after the show.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. I told you. Do your homework. See you tomorrow, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
And for the rest of you, thank you very much for joining us in the audience. Again, it was a really high-numbered show. We really appreciate everybody showing up and supporting this. This is our first ever podcast that we actually got to go in full character, so thank you for that. We'll be doing the Media Scrum live tomorrow night after the show, and then we'll have Miss SOS, the Motivate Women's Champion, on at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So we're pulling double duty tomorrow. And keep looking forward to our shows in May. Until then, peace, love, be good to each other. And please, by all means, help control the pet population and have your host, who's Team Jeff, spaded or neutered. Peace.